What's up, everybody? Andrew here with the Medellin Buzz again. Today I'm here with my friend Juan. How you doing, Juan?
I'm doing amazing. I can't complain.
Today we are going to be talking about what his firm helps foreigners do here in Colombia, which is taxes, business, etc. We're going to get into all of the business stuff and some personal life stuff. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm more than ready.
Let's go. Okay, Juan, tell us, where are you from? How long have you lived in Medellin?
I'm original from Medellin. I just turned 35. Live a few years overseas in Chicago, Argentina, and other places. I love Medellin.
Can you tell us the name of your business and what do you do?
My business name is Hold. We are like a hold for you regarding accounting and legal matters. So we helping the expats navigate taxes in Colombia. Colombian taxes is a rough cookie to swallow. And we are here just to minimize the tax burden, minimize the tax treaty, and also we're helping you in both in the States and Colombia.
We are in this beautiful park, Tele Medellin. Let's walk to the next part and I'll ask you the next question.
Sure.
All right, let's go. When does a foreigner need a legal entity, first of all?
At the moment you start collecting some assets in Colombia, or the amount of investment you want to make is significant, that could be a really good option to begin a SAS.
What would be a significant investment? What dollar amount?
250K. There's around 1,000 million pesos. 1,000 million pesos for Colombia is a significant investment, and you can put under a SAS.
And if you just have, let's say, one property that's $200,000 or more, should you create an LLC or a SAS?
My personal advice, disclaimer, this is not professional, just personal, try to handle under your own. Why? Because the tax treaty is not that high and you can handle directly. If that property is like an Airbnb or another kind of business, you can probably look at into a SAS to minimize the risk, but it depends on what you want to do with that property.
All right, so tell us, what are some of the common mistakes that foreigners make?
There are a few. The first is create a SAS too early. What means a SAS? Sociedad Anónima Simplificada. It's like an LLC in the States. At the moment you arrive Colombia, my advice to you is just get to know the culture, get to know the people, get to know the business, then you can create a SAS. Why? Because at the moment you create a SAS, you are obligated to file like a prepaid taxes. So we have a few clients that they are really well connected, that are high-end individuals in the States or other countries. At the moment they arrive, they thought they have all the answers. And the answer for that is no, because this is a new jurisdiction, this is a new country. The rules are changed every single day. Professional guidance, you could minimize the risk, minimize the tax burden, reach out to a professional accountant, professional attorney.
I know that many people make mistakes when hiring people. Can you give us some insight on that?
This is another mistake. The people hired people without knowledge. Colombian law protect 100% the employee. Here in Colombia, the employee has the power. At the moment you want to fire, it's not that easy as the state that you say, hey, you're fired. No, you have to do a certain process. It could take time just to fire someone. If you just jump in alone and say, hey, this is a good guy, I'm going to hire him, it could be pricey for you and a lot of time wasting.
Okay, that's a lot of helpful information. Let's go to the next part because I want to talk about taxes for foreigners. Let's go.
How do you know if you have to file Colombian taxes? There are two ways. So if you have a company, you have to file Colombian taxes. If you have a property, even if you're living overseas, you have to show to the DIAN, like the tax authority, that you have that property in Colombia and it's generate X amount of pesos. Remember that file doesn't mean pay. The tax authority just asking you, hey, what do you got in my country? How do you handle everything, okay? The second is personal taxes. If you living in Colombia, more than 183 days as a Colombian tax resident. You have to file Colombian personal taxes from August to October. It depends on the last digit of your RUT, the RUT. The Registro Único Tributario is like a tax number. You have to show the Colombian income plus overseas income. You have to show, if you, for example, if you have income in the States, how much income was and how was the tax. That tax is deductible into your personal tax return in Colombia. Other thing to have in mind is if you own properties here in Colombia, if you own assets, or if you make like a transaction, banking transaction, obviously with Colombian banks or Colombian debit cards or credit cards, if you overpass certain limits, you have to show to the DIAN, hey, for the last year I just moved 100 million, so I have to show where that money comes from. In some cases, you don't have to pay, but in other cases, depend on the assets, depends on the income, probably you should have to pay.
What are some of the mistakes that foreigners make in regards to taxes?
Colombia has a whale tax if you overpass like around $1 million. If you have a lot of assets in Colombia and overseas under your name, probably you could be taxable about that. We have a lot of clients that come into us, hey, I got a mansion in, I don't know, in California, I have another mansion in France, I have 2 houses here in Colombia. But all of these properties are under their personal names, and at the moment we show to the DIAN, hey, we have all this global patrimony, so it could be taxable, so we just minimize. Let's create a different business structure so you don't have nothing on your personal name, and then you can have different entities with the assets, set you apart from company, from personal items.
Yeah, that's super important. I learned that the hard way.
Okay.
I have a few properties here, I have businesses, etc. And I remember my first year of income tax that I had to pay to the DIAN was a significant amount. And I was like, looking up data and information, I'm like, most Colombians never even pay taxes, first of all. And me in my first year, I'm probably paying more taxes than than most Colombians would ever pay in their whole entire life because of the mistakes that we made. Now, I don't regret obviously paying taxes that I owe to the country, but as you were saying, there are ways to structure it, to be smart about it, to minimize it so that you can keep more in your pocket and or invest into the country in other ways. I've got some questions about your personal life, your life here in Colombia that I'm sure a lot of people would like to know about. Let's get to the next spot. Let's go. All right, Juan, tell us about your life in Medellin. Where do you live?
I live in Laureles, La Castellana. It's a nice neighborhood, it's quiet, it's so residential.
Now, Laureles has seen some more foreigners coming in as far as tourists and some people that are, buying properties and living in there.
That's right.
How has this gentrification that people are talking about affected your life personally?
Okay, personally, I love it, because I have a business for the expats. But there's like a two perspective. The first is the people like it. The second, the people don't like it. Medellin is growing, and if you can adapt, you could grow with the city. If you go against the growing of the city, that's gonna be like a fight. Everything is changing. Every day is different than yesterday or a few years ago. People coming in with their own culture, with their own perspective, with their own customs, and they want something different, and you have to adapt to a new reality.
Yeah, I agree. I think the government definitely has a responsibility to protect its citizens. Yep. And one of those ways of protecting the citizens is to regulate, for example, rents in certain sections or certain areas. Yes. I'm a real estate investor. I have property in here, and I still agree with that because obviously I know what it's like to not be able to make rent and have to move somewhere else. Yep. And I would hate for that to happen to like a family, right? When you're young and you could do it, doesn't matter. I've lived you, I lived in downtown. I lived in 7 different neighborhoods out here, and I moved around, had roommates, and I made it work. But when you have a family, when you've been here for years and you're trying to make it, it's very hard if you get priced out by people coming into your city. So I do agree with that. Politically, our president leans socialist. How would you explain to a foreigner that is interested in investing in Colombia, whether it's real estate or starting a business or some sort of company investment, the political climate and also the safety factor?
Just for you to clarify, Medellin is big city. It has some risk, but in general, I feel comfortable and I feel safe in Medellin. And you can live pretty well here, you know? You could raise a kids, there is a really good schools, there are a really good health system. So in general, it's a really good place to live. It's not an advertisement of the city. It's what I feel about Medellin. Regarding the president or the political stuff, right now our president has a different perspective of business investment. He commit with people that voting for him in certain ways, and he don't deliver 100% of that, so the people are not so happy with.
So do you think next year with the new president, things are going to change for the better?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
How can someone contact you if they want to work with you?
Right now, just please contact Andrew. Andrew will reach out to us. Remember, we are whole. Our website is wholeforyou.com.
All right, you heard it from him. If you want to get in contact with him, there's a form in the description. Click on that link, fill out the form. I'll get you in contact with him. Also, if you're relocating to Medellin, if you need help, we've created the Medellin Masterclass. It's a 6-hour course that teaches you everything. A lot of the stuff that we talked about informs you on everything you need to know and helps you relocate to Medellin. It's called the Medellin Masterclass. There's a link to our free webinar. It's about an hour long, so make sure you have time to watch it. After you watch it, you get a $500 discount on the course itself, and you get to join the inner circle with us. All right, Juan, thank you so much. You've been an amazing guest.
It's a pleasure, bro.
Yeah, we got to do this again.
Yes.
All right, guys, we'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.
Bye.